So I've been thinking about transitioning out of my role for some time, but I think that it became much more concrete during the pandemic. First off, we had to do an emergency executive transition planning to make sure that should anything happen, that we have a plan. And then with that, we started building redundancies to make sure that there was shared knowledge about what I was doing. And also, we wanted to have a way to share information widely throughout the organization and with the board. So, one of the things that we did was move to SharePoint and save our documents and information very differently than before. We also started investing in a lot of technology to be able to have easier access to information. And for example, we have moved from our client database that we sort of built it. I mean, I was involved in building it to a more shelf database that is much easier to upkeep. And we also invested in building a donor database where I am brain dumping, so to speak, in my relationships and kind of building out all those pieces to make our organization more sustainable and also transferring information. When you're doing an executive transition, you're doing it on top of all the other work that you are currently doing. And it's not just you, the executive director, it's also everyone around you. One of the things we had to do was to really think about how to transition me out of development. So we had to double our development department and really bring on folks who can take over a lot of different aspects of what I was doing. And so it is quite costly, and it does require a lot of attention. It was helpful to have outside support. We brought on Lisa Watson of Watson Consulting to help the board. I didn't think I should be the one helping the board transition me out, so bringing on outside help to help the board to do this was super helpful as well. I think as executive director, I have a lot of different priorities for my attention and my time. And even though I've been thinking about transitioning out, I hadn't prioritized it. And getting an NSI grant gave me permission to prioritize that work and also resource it to make it happen. It helps to have grant deliverables and timeline to really make sure that I'm paying attention to something that felt subconsciously very selfish. I think that it was hard for me to, even though I knew it was good for the organization for me to transition, think about a good transition and really make sure that we are going through a thoughtful process. But I think that it was hard for me to think about it because I was so personally involved and it felt selfish, subconsciously at least. So it really helped to have the grant and to help me focus on that work.